Hey guys, so today I'm going to be looking at people who objected to a wedding. So yeah, let's just get right into the video. Incredibly anticlimactic. An ex-boyfriend stood up and said he was still in love with the bride, so the wedding couldn't go ahead. Officiant said that wasn't a valid reason. He sat back down. Oh, that's embarrassing, dude. I object. Overruled. Sit down. My grandmother did. When my loser uncle, her son, got married the 4th time, she told the woman she could do better. Imagine your own mum objecting your own wedding for your wife because she thinks your wife deserves a better person. Dude, you've done everything wrong in life. The pastor is asking this and people are looking around. 2/3 of the way back is a very pregnant young lady standing up. People start to turn to look at her. She says, "I'm sorry, I have to pee." That was a close one. Dude, imagine how the bride and the groom felt. Imagine a pregnant lady standing up and someone's like, "Does anyone object?" Goodness me. There wasn't an objection, but my cousin's rehearsal dinner was nuts. The bride and the maid of honor were both pregnant by the groom and the best man, but vice versa of what you think. It all came to a head because the best man spoke up that the wedding was a bad idea. So the bride got pregnant by the best man and the maid of honor got pregnant by the groom. What the hell? I don't even know what to think. I mean, no one can even be mad at each other because they both cheated on each other. So no one can even be mad. Damn. My sister had a wedding in our backyard. When asked if there were any objections, the family dog got up, walked to the minister, barked once, turned back and sat down. That's a sign, man. That's a sign. If my dog did that, I would be like, something wrong with you. I was maid of honor at my best friend's wedding, and her dad had some mental health issues along with a tendency to be annoying. I knew that when the groom had asked her dad for permission to marry her, he had technically said no, so we were all on pins and needles a bit. The time came for the "does anyone object" question, and the dad steps up to speak, and I watched my friend's face go immediately ashen, and I'm ready to throw up or throw hands or something. And the dad says, "Growing up, Bride's Name always hated this song, and we always joked that we'd sing it at a wedding, so here it is." And he and her mother proceeded to sing the song, while I bore a hole in his face with my eyes, and a few of the guests tried to force awkward courtesy chuckles. It was awful. Wow, that's messed up. The fact that they would do that. Because their dad knows everyone has their eyes on him because everyone knows that he didn't want them to get married. So when he stood up to just say this as a joke, that's messed up. The groom's dad stood up and loudly said, "It's not too late, son," right as the bride was coming down the aisle. She sobbed the whole way down and the show went on. They're divorced now. So like, who was the red flag, you know? I want to know why they divorced because I can't judge a story off of this. Like, was the dad warning him because she was a red flag? Or was his family the whole red flag? Was at a wedding years ago, and when the question was asked, the bride's father stood up and asked her, "Are you absolutely sure you want to marry this guy?" Since the back 2 rows on the groom's side had a bet on this, we were all then cleared to start drinking. To be fair, they are still married and still in love, and her dad still hates the man because he works for himself and not a company. Her dad hates that he has a successful business. What? Like what? Is he bitter? Is he jealous? Is he envious that his son-in-law has a business and he doesn't? Like, is he jealous? I don't get it. I don't get people like that. Oh my god, you work for yourself? How dare you? The night before my cousin's wedding, her ex-boyfriend showed up to her parents' house with the intention of making an 11th hour plea for her to not go through with the wedding and take him back instead. Luckily, she was out with her sisters dropping the cake off at the hotel for the reception, so she didn't have to deal with it. And my uncle eventually got the guy to leave, threatened to call the police in the end. The next morning at the church, there were a load of guests very discreetly put on the alert that this guy could show up and try to disrupt things. Luckily, the wedding went off without a hitch, but we found out later that he actually had turned up at the church. But the sacristan had been standing just outside the door and clocked him heading in and managed to hold him off in the car park. They kinda talked him down and then took him away. Good on them, seriously. How hard is your life failing that you're still hung up over your ex like this? Not a wedding, but a proposal. Back in mid-20s when I was single, I was a bartender at a fancy steakhouse in my city. Valentine's Day was always a sellout night. I randomly had that night off, so a co-worker of mine and I ponied up to the bar for a few drinks before going out for the night. Place was jamming busy. Suddenly, this dude shouts for the whole restaurant's attention from the middle of the dining room. He gets down on one knee and pulls out a ring. She lets him get through the whole spiel before literally laughing in his face and saying no, 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 and hightailing it out of there. Guy kind of climbs back up into his chair dejected. Owner of the restaurant walks over with a highball glass, literally fills it with whiskey, pats him on the back, and goes, "Dinner's on us, bud." Restaurant slowly went back to normal. Apparently the guy didn't leave for like 2 more hours. This is why public proposals are always a bad idea. And like, don't people talk about it first? Whether they know the person that they're going to be asking will marry them or not? Surely you know. Surely you've talked about it before. Surely. Not gonna lie, if someone proposed to me in public as well, I wouldn't like it. I mean, even if I love that person and I would want to marry them, if they do that in public to me, that would kind of make me dislike them a bit. Guy stood up and said he had effed the bride a few months prior. Then another guy got up and said the same. And then another and another stood up. Turns out she'd been making the rounds through this guy's family. None of them were going to say anything, but one guy cracked and it was enough for the guilt to overflow on the rest, including the best man, who was bright red in the face when he stammered out that he had to, not but 2 weeks prior. Dude, what the hell's wrong with the bride, man? You're about to get married and you F his whole family? Alright. Like, literally, I hope she stays single forever. Like, holy shit. Like, I hope every single person that she dates knows this story. Knows that she F'd her fiance's family. Well, that's it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Tell me in the comments down below what your thoughts are. And as always, thanks for watching. Hope you guys liked it. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye!